Okay, so today's lesson is equations. Equations is a very big part of algebra grade 8. Okay, so we're going to solve for x. We're going to start off really easy, something that even in grade 2 and 3 they're learning, and so did you. So for example, when they used to give you a box and they would ask you to fill in the box and say, hey, what's missing in the box? And this they learn in grade 2 and 3, where you say, what's missing? What plus 2 equals 5? And you all know that it's 3. So now in grade 8, what's different is rather than a box or a question mark or a little line at the bottom, a space, they're going to use a variable. For today, I'm going to use the letter x. So it's x plus 2 equals 5. This is an equation. And what the equation is saying is, I know the answer. What's missing? Well, how do we find this? How could I find the answer 3 without knowing that 3 plus 2 equals 5? How would I know that this would be x has a value of 3 without common sense and knowing our addition? Okay, go ahead. 5 minus 2 is 3. Good. So what you guys have to notice is that I'm going to take my plus 2. Because it's a plus 2, I'm going to do the opposite operation on the other side of the equal sign. So now it's a minus 2. So we're going to minus 2. Remove this because we brought him over. We're like, bye-bye, over to the other side as minus 2. We're left with the unknown being x, and we have an equal sign that says 3. So the x has a value of 3. How can I check if I'm right? Well, I take the 3, I replace it here and go 3 plus 2 equals 5. I'm right. Looks very easy and can get extremely difficult. So just one step at a time. This is easy. If you're like, hey, miss, this is so easy. Great. Amazing that you find it easy. Just keep it in your brain that it will get harder. So let's start with this one. Let's go a little more difficult. Let's start with x minus 4 equals 10. So what's missing for this to be true? So somebody's saying 14. It's true, 14 minus 4. When you're really good at adding and subtracting, this comes easy. But if you didn't know it was 14, what would you do to get the answer of 14?
10 minus 4? No,
what's the opposite of minus? It's plus. So I put plus 4 because the opposite operation of minus 4 is plus 4. Do I remove this? Yes, because it's gone. It went bye-bye to the other side. My equal signs, people, listen carefully. I will take off marks. Pay attention. My equal signs have to be in a perfect column. Like they have to be perfectly aligned here. Perfectly aligned for you to get full marks. That means that my variable, my letter, is always on the left side. And my value, the number, is always on the right. So look how beautiful. I'm like, oh, x is left, 10 plus is 14. I can check. 14 minus 4 equals 10. Yes, I'm right. Let's try another one. X minus 1 equals negative 4. Now this is no longer grade 2 and 3. This is no longer easy because now we're looking at integers. And the missing number might be a negative answer. So we're going to do what Miss LaPena said. Take the number, carry it over to the other side as the opposite operation. We're going to do the same thing. What did I tell you to do here? Minus 1 becomes plus 1. I'm going to remove it from this side. It's gone. Bring down the x. My equal signs are always perfectly aligned. And what do I do with this? Well, if we're really good with our integers, we do it mentally. If not, we have a thing called the calculator, and we write -4 plus 1, and it'll give us the answer of -3. Yes? You always do the opposite operation when you carry it over to the other side of the equal sign. Yes? Exactly. I want the equal signs. I don't want them to shift over to the right or to the left. Yes?
Can you repeat that sentence?
Which sentence?
That we have to change it.
Okay, so every time you have a -1, you would have to change the operation over the equal signs as the opposite operation. So -1 becomes +1. +1 becomes -1. So every time you take the number. So what our objective is to always have x equaling a number. Okay, the objective of solving an equation, let me write that down. The objective of solving an equation is to have, only x is to have the x on one side and the value on the other side of equal sign. Boom. I'm going to erase everything here, and we're going to do 3 more examples of simple one-step equations. Simple one-step equations. Yes. So here are 3 more examples of one-step equations. So what if I had -5 plus x equals 2? What if I had this as a question? Do I take the -5, like I did before earlier, carry it over, because I want x to stay where it is, and make the 5 a +5? So now I have x is equal to 7. Good? Makes sense? So I just switched up the order on the left side. It's not a big deal. Let's say I had 3 plus x equals -5. Is that a positive 3? Yes, because there's no negative in front of it, it's a positive 3. Do you want to put positive in front of it to make yourself more aware? You could. You take the positive 3, carry it over as a -3. Now, some of you not super comfortable with integers, so this year you're allowed a calculator. What do you do here? -5 minus 3 equals, so now I have x equals -8. That's why you have a calculator, to not make that mistake. -8. Next, one more like this, and I'm giving you time to do it. X minus 7 equals -4. Please try that. I'm hoping that you all have an equal sign perfectly aligned with the other one. I never want to see this, guys. Watch. Equals. No. My equal stays with my equal sign going down. Miss, do I have to circle it? Yes. Miss, do I have to carry it over? Yes. Change the sign, so because it's a subtraction, it now becomes an addition of 7. Do I have to bring down the x? Yes. -4 plus 7, I use a calculator, -4 plus 7, I will get 3. Watch watch what I'm going to do next. 3x equals 15. Does anybody know, without doing any work, what the value of x is here? 5. You had to notice that this is not an addition or subtraction, it's a multiplication. And for those of you who are good at multiplication, you're able to do a bit of trial and error in your head and say, oh, let me try 5. 3 times 5 equals 15. But how about if you didn't know it was 5? How can you know 5 is the answer without, by doing something? Yes? So the operation is what here? What's the opposite operation of multiplication? Division. So now look at this. Watch here. Watch this. Check it out. Are you looking? Yes? Divided by 3. Please do not use the division sign. Use the fraction bar as your division. So now what I did was, instead of multiplication, it became a division. I'm left with x is equal to 15 divided by 3 is 5. I'll do one more, and then I'm going to erase and do more of them. Here we go. Negative 4x equals 20. It's a one-step equation. Solving for one step. That means there's only one thing to do here. And what is that one thing to do? This is a multiplication. What happens on the other side of the equal sign? It's a division. So now, do I divide positive 4? Listen, do I divide positive 4 or negative 4? Negative 4. How come I didn't change? How come I didn't say, oh, minus 4 becomes plus? Because it's not addition or subtraction. It's a multiplication. So we're turning it into a division. So you divide by negative 4. Pay attention, that's important. A lot of kids make a mistake there. Take this out. X is now equal to negative 5. I'm putting the video on pause for any questions. A few more examples, and then we're moving on to two-step equations. So a few more examples. How about if I said negative 2 plus x equals negative 4. What do we do? Okay, so you carry it over as a plus 2. So now you're going to say x is equal to, and you're going to take your calculator, and what's your final answer? Negative 2. Good. Next question. 6x equals negative 30. What do you do? This is a multiplication. So you make it a division. X is equal to negative 5, correct? And we'll do one more. One more. Negative 4 becomes plus 4. X is left equaling negative 6. Very nice. So those were the one-step equations with adding, subtracting, and multiplying. And now what I would like to introduce you to is two-step equations. So watch what happens now. So we're going to do two-step equations. Watch what a two-step equation looks like. 2x plus 4 equals 14. Now, why is it two steps? Because I'm going to have to get rid of the plus 4 first, carry it over, and then I'm going to have to get rid of the 2, which is multiplied by the x. So watch. Everybody's watching? Because the answer is easy. Some of you have the answer in your head. You already know. You've already said, oh, I know that's 5. 2 times 5 is 10 plus 4 is 14. But how did we get 5? This is how we get it. We take the plus 4 and we remove it on the other side. So now I remove and I'm left with a 10 on this side and a 2x on this side. Do you understand what I just did? I removed the plus 4 by carrying it over as a minus 4. And you always remove the plus and minuses first. Okay, the additions and the subtractions get removed first, brought over to the other side. What's my objective? My objective is to get x is equal to something. Right now I have 2x is equal to, I need to remove this 2. Well, this 2 is a multiplication. So to remove it, I need to divide by 2. So I removed it by doing a division of 2, giving me x is equal to 5. Now, is it true? 2 times 5 is 10 plus 4 is 14. It's a two-step equation. Most of the time, you'll see this. Let's try another one. 4x minus 1 equals 15. 4x minus 1 equals 15. To remove the minus 1, I circle it, bring it over to the other side as not a minus 1, but a plus 1. So now I'm left with 16 on the right-hand side of the equal sign and a 4x left on the left hand, which is not finished because the objective is to get x as a value of an answer. How do I remove this 4 times x? Divided by 4, removed. My objective has been met at x. 16 divided by 4 is equal to 4. One more easy one more fairly straightforward, and then I'll put some little a little bit of difficult ones. So let's try one more. 6x minus 18 equals negative, let's say equals, negative 26. I might give you a decimal answer, just because I wasn't paying attention to the number. Yes? So you're going to tell me what to do? This becomes, can you just tell me with your calculator, what's negative 26 plus negative 8? So am I going to get a decimal? Yes, because you're going to get negative 8 divided by 6, and x is going to give me negative 1.3 to the infinity, if I'm not mistaken, right? Is this allowed?
Yes.
Yes. You're allowed a calculator, so you're not even working with fractions or anything, it's a decimal. Yes? So to finish today's lesson with a few more examples, these are it, and then you're going to have just a couple of questions for classwork. So, if all went well today, you understood that I want my equal signs in the same place, because that helps to organize the left with the right. And I'm trying to get to x. This is the objective, is that I want to know what is the value of x to make this equation true. Minus 7 becomes plus 7. So I have a 12 on this side. I've erased this. So I'm almost there, because the objective is to find out what x is. Well, right now I know what 4x is. 4x is equal to 12. I divide by 4, and now I have the answer of 3. The value of x is 3. Is it true? 4 times 3 is 12. 12 minus 7 equals 5. Yes. Now this one, there's a plus 2 here. Take the plus 2, carry it over as a minus 2. This comes off. I'm left with, now I never showed you this. This is why I put it here. I never showed you what happens if I have a negative x. Well, it's actually a negative 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you with the negative 1 to tell you that I divide by negative 1, and all it really does is changes the sign. So x is now equal to negative 8. And the last question is plus 5 becomes minus 5. 6x is equal to negative 18. This is all calculator here. Calculator. Divide by 6. X is equal to negative 3. This is all beautiful work that would merit all the marks possible. If you do this for me, you will not only get it right, it will be neat, it will be organized, and it will make